In case you ever wanted to know, I'm in Australia right now.
Hello, my name is Robert Bernardi, and I was one of the students with the Student Teaching Abroad in Perth, Australia in 2009. While I was there, I took a video blog of everything that we did. There are just two things that you need to know before I show you. One, this is very personal, so it's very centered around me. Two, this is Rutledge. He's my travel companion, and he's in every video. He generally sits behind my ear. Enjoy.
Alright. Just got to Sydney. I smell awful because I've been traveling for over a day. I lost Wednesday. The lady at the exchange shortchanged me $2. Other than that, it's going pretty well. I don't know. What do you think, Rutledge? Yeah, he hasn't talked much yet. We'll see, though. Okay, so, walking around Sydney was cut short by the rain, as you can tell. We'll try again when it dies down. Okay, so, came back to the hotel room and fell asleep for about 13 hours. There goes Rutledge. He's a bit antsy to get back out there, so we're going to go do that. Alright, we're in Sydney. Behind me is the Music Consortium, I don't know what you call it. Conservatory, there we go. And then over there is the Opera House, which is gigantic, and I haven't even been there yet. Right. Also going to tour the Botanical Gardens. They have one of those. Okay. Alright. Just walked around Sydney for about 7 hours. Think I've seen everything I can see. My feet feel like they're going to fall off. My legs are dead. I can feel blisters forming. But I did see a lot, so I think it all turns out okay in the end. Might go for a swim later, might not. Have to leave bright and early in the morning, probably waking up around 5:30 to get to the airport, to get on a plane, to go to Perth. So that's it for my big Sydney adventure.
In Australia, Burger King is called Hungry Jack's. Okay, so culture shock. It is a real thing, and it is something you notice when you come here. You notice it in the big things like this.
So, this is where the steering wheel should be, and that's where the steering wheel is.
But the issue is, you also notice it in all the small things. My theory is Australia was created by someone who wanted to recreate the United States, but they had never been there. They'd only seen it in movies and TV. So everything's pretty much the same, except for odd little differences. Take bathrooms, for example. For some reason, Australians are ashamed of their toilets and keep them separated from the rest of the bathroom. And in every bathroom, in restaurants or in public, you'll find, well, you won't find urinals, you'll find these. I could probably spend days going through all the little differences here and how they're all a little weird and it makes you a little uncomfortable, but I think I'll just end with this one because I find it to be one of the funniest.
There is no beyond in Australia.
So it's Wednesday. It is my third day teaching. I'm over at Governor Stirling Senior High School, but everyone here calls it Govo. Behind me you can see my awesome curtains that might drive me crazy during this. Anyway, I'm going to show you some of Govo in a second. It'll be hours for me, but it'll only be like a second for you. Also, one quick note specifically to Sharky. We're on water discipline here, so it makes it very hard for me to just randomly fill up a tub. So I'm going to have to find a time when no one's watching me. Alright. that is the school that I teach at. Alright, here on Rottnest Island, you can see it is very much an island, and we're about to go biking. And we all know how much I love biking. Alright, finished the first bike tour, and there's so much on the island that you're just going to have to see pictures, because if I took video of all of it, I'd never finish. So I'll try. Day one is ending. As you can see, the beautiful scenery behind me. We biked a lot today, we had a lot of fun, and now we're just going to eat, probably go out a little tonight, and tomorrow have even more fun. What we have here is a quokka, which is like, it's like a rat kangaroo. They're all over the island, as you can see. It just made a hissing noise at me. And there's another one, because like I said, they're all over the island. This is me saying goodbye from Rottnest Island. It has been the best vacation spot ever, and I suggest that everyone comes here sometime.
Alright, several things to recap the weekend. First, pretzels. Finally. They're very hard to find here, apparently. Second, we went to Subiaco. And after that, we went to a footy game. And then on Saturday morning, we did this. Alright, here we are at some harbor, and we are going to go attempt to find dolphins to swim with. And much like everything involving Australia, we need a boat. Oh, that's not our boat. Alright, we're finished up swimming with dolphins. I'm now trying to get somewhat tan in this country. There's no ozone layer, and yet I'm still the same color as when I arrived. And finally, Sharky, this last part is for you, not me eating a pretzel, the thing to follow.
Alright, we've arrived at Margaret River after a 4-hour bus ride, and now we're at our hostel and soon to be going on cave tours. And cave tour. Day 2 of Margaret River, this time featuring plenty of rain. Surfing! Yes! And for the record, I was in fact able to stand. And here we are on the wine tour. Day 3 of Margaret River, we are going to be leaving the hostel, and then we are going to be rappelling off cliffs. And that should draw everything to a close, pretty much one way or another. that was rock climbing. This ends our time at Margaret River. Rutledge would just like to say he's had a barkingly good time.
Alright, so this is Fremantle. Luckily, Fremantle isn't a complete ghost town. We did find parts with restaurants, people, and live music in the street. Of course, the reason we went to Fremantle was to go on the prison tour. Fremantle Prison is supposedly haunted. I don't know about that, but the tour was pretty awesome. Thanks in part to our guide Josh, which you will see in this little teaser. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, magnificent building behind me here. The main cell block of Fremantle Prison. We'll be heading in there shortly. But before we do, has been put in safety. The eerie blue light is new as well. Other than that, everything else is very original.
This weekend I decided to go to Perth. Would you like to see Perth? Basically, the trip to Perth involved a crazy cowboy, a lot of rain, a train that stopped too soon, a bus that wouldn't stop, not finding the correct pub, and a lot of other stuff. But in the end, it was an okay city. I'll just leave you with a collage of some of it. So I have seen a lot of crazy animals while I've been here in Australia. Quokkas and dolphins and stingrays and pelicans and this lizard which took forever to film. And I've seen poisonous snakes, and of course kangaroos. And that's the thing, that there are just a ton of weird and different animals here, but I think the animal that has shocked me the most, well, animals, have been the birds. The birds here are just ridiculous, and you're about to see one piece of evidence of why. You can hear that sound? That's cockatoos. We're about to go look at them.
So far what I've shown you of Australia has been beaches or cities, and that is not doing the landscape any justice. For starters, there's a lot of farmland. But then there's also a lot of other open space area. This was supposed to be a raging waterfall, but there hasn't been enough rain for it to be. But despite the fact that I haven't shown you any of the Outback because I've never been to the Outback, there's a lot more to Australia than just vast nothingness. I was really shocked to find this, well, really lush forest, which I'm going to end things on.